All right, bang, bang. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. Today I am joined by two jewelers, Rick and Dave. They own Norridge Jewelers. Guys, thanks for doing this. How we doing?
Doing good.
Thanks.
So, obviously wanted to bring you in. We were trying to do around Valentine's Day. It didn't work out, but it's something that I think a lot of young guys, or women, whoever, is interested in because a lot of people don't really know what they're doing when they walk into the shop, I assume, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so let's kind of first get into it. Like, how did you guys get into the business? What's your guys' deal right now?
Family. Our father's uncle, our great uncle, probably over 100 years ago, he had Norridge Jewelers downtown Chicago, Wabash and Madison, and he brought my dad and uncle into it, and in turn brought my brother and cousins, and we're all family at Norridge Jewelers, Norridge Jewelers, so it was definitely a family business.
Okay, and then so from what I understand, there's two arms of the operation.
Yep. I handle the retail arm in Norridge, and my brother does the grunt work, the behind-the-scene work of it. I get all the glory, and he does all the work.
So how'd you decide on that?
Luck.
Older brother, younger brother.
Oh, yeah?
Older brother got the dirty job. The younger brother got the pretty job.
So what does that mean, the grunt work?
That I get the jobs in, and I don't go home until the job is completed. He's the one that deals with
The customers, I deliver the jobs, and
takes
I
all
get
the credit.
glory.
So explain a standard job.
So if a customer comes into the store and, for example, a ring that wants to be made, I'll go through the process of helping the customer design it, figure out how, what, cost, things of that nature, and then that's when I forward it to my brother downtown, which is the wholesale end of the business, which does all the diamond setting and all the labor end of the work.
Gotcha, then you take care of all that.
So then, yeah, when they go there, they give him a design that he wants, and he sends me pictures, 2, 3, 4 pictures, and we kind of design the ring, make a CAD design of it, get it back to the store. Then he shows the customers, they okay it, and then it comes back down, and we put the diamonds all in their file, polish the ring, set the diamond, and he gets the finished product back and gets all the glory then.
And is this how majority of it's done, or do most people do it in the back? How do
We also have a shop in the back that we do work for, but again, we're blessed to have the full operation downtown Monday through Friday, and our retail store is working from Tuesdays through Saturdays. So we've got the best of both worlds.
So I know how, obviously I know how a jewelry store, the retail end, it looks. What does your end look like behind there?
So then the other side is almost all jewelers will tell you that they do some work on premise, whether it's changing a battery, but most of them don't actually do the hands-on work, and they all job it out to a shop somewhere throughout the United States, because some of the shops I do work for are in Denver, Colorado. I have 2 stores out there that ship the merchandise back here to Chicago to size, set, and repair chains, and then we ship it back to them. A couple stores in Wisconsin and a store in Indiana. So that's kind of what we do. Is we're basically like a car mechanic. You tell us what you need. Your brakes are bad, or this is bad. A diamond falls out. Repair a chain. They send it. And we basically put it back together and ship it back to the stores, and the stores go from there. So, like I said, we got it pretty both coming in the front door and going out the back door.
There you go. Now, is there any type of retail at your spot or no?
There's very, very little.
Oh, okay. Because you think downtown, you think like that's where people would be popping in, right?
Right. Well, and again,
Used to.
Yeah, true. Now, we were talking beforehand. Now that with COVID, you said everything's just
downtown's kind of a ghost town right now.
Completely a ghost town. So, what's break down kind of the items here? What's the majority of the store? Like, if you had to kind of percentage it, like what's rings?
The business used to be a lot of everything, but it's kind of narrowed down to engagement rings, wedding bands, and gift giving. Not as much as it used to be. We're fortunate during COVID when we were shut down. Our type of business was such that even though we were shut down for the 3-4 months, people who had diamonds to be reset and ring sizing and purchases to be made could push it back until we did reopen up. So we were very fortunate with that. But I'd say right now, big portion is my brother has 3 boys. I have 3 boys between the ages of 25 and 40, and they're all going through the engagement rings, wedding bands. That's been the huge part of our business.
So why did it change? Like, what did it change from? Like, what did it used to be?
You know, it used to be, I mean, it evolved because it used to be more fun at Christmas time.
Yeah.
And we went through the rough times of the, 208s and things of that nature. I think the people today, the younger people, jewelry isn't what it was to us back 20, 30 years ago. Kids today are a little bit more into the instant gratification of new iPhones, trips, things that they could do now, not as much as with jewelry. So
This was like necklaces and bracelets. Was that a bigger thing?
When I started in the business almost 40 years ago, Valentine's Day used to pump out 200, 300, 400 heart pendants. Now if we do 2, 3 at Valentine's Day, that's a lot.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now, is that like fucking Tiffany's and shit that kind of ruined that, or
no? It's
just the evolution. It just, if you think about it, plus two, over the last several years, the price of gold has gone up. So to purchase things has gone up a bit, but just jewelry in general has changed for the 20 to 35-year-old person outside of engagement rings, wedding bands, things of that nature. Also, too, is that back in my day, and I'm 6 years old, it was kind of a way of showing your successes, buying your wife a pair of diamond earrings, a diamond tennis bracelet. There was kind of things that you went through a woman's jewelry collection that you purchased. Now it's, paying the mortgage. It's just different.
Yeah, and like you said, people are just Valentine's Day, they're getting an iPad instead.
Yeah.
Or a box of candy.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are, but Dominic's and Jewel used to give away chains if you bought enough groceries. Now that chain is $100. So that makes the cost of it so much more expensive, too.
Because people will say, oh, you must be really busy for Valentine's Day. And it's not the same. Valentine's Day is the perfect guy's makeup holiday because if they screwed up at Christmas time or they're in doghouse with their woman, Valentine's Day is the holiday right around the corner that they could make up on.
Wow. So having you on before Valentine's Day would have been like, hey, we're not even a Valentine's guys anymore.
No.
At all. Wow. It makes a lot of. I get it. It makes sense, just how things have changed. But that's just 2 or 3. I wouldn't expect that number.
Yeah, no, totally. But I'll tell you what's interesting today, if we can change subject a little bit, is the diamond business, the natural diamond to the lab-grown diamond.
I got a lot of questions about that because we did a show on this too about the. I don't know if it's so much of a conspiracy as much as it is about the history of the diamond business and De Beers and all that shit. So please take it away.
Because what's interesting is, it's fun to hear on the radio, gentlemen, size does matter. From a jeweler who builds and creates and does, size doesn't always matter. Even for the little guys, quality does still count when it comes to diamonds. But with the lab-grown diamonds compared to the natural diamonds, about 3 years ago, we never really sold that many in the lab grown because we really didn't understand the product. And now I would say it's pushing maybe 60% natural to 40% lab grown. We have all boys in our family. My brother has 3 and I have 3. And if all the boys were getting engaged today, we would definitely push them towards the lab grown because we who've been in business our entire life can't tell the difference. The size, quality, cost-wise, you're looking at about 30 to 40% less.
Hey, let's take a quick break here and let's talk about our friends at Roman. I got the Roman swipes on deck here because thinking about baseball, thinking about, I'm thinking about proposing, I'm thinking about which ring I should buy. That's not going to help you in the midst of the moment, guys. It's just not going to help at all. So you got to stop that. You got to get over that. You got to get something that's clinically proven to help you, and that's Roman swipes. So Roman swipes, they're small, they're discreet. You can slip them in your wallet. I have them on video if you're watching the video version. It's definitely the way to go because they're effective, easy to use, and fast acting, but they don't require prescription. Roman swipes, you swipe it on, you let it dry, you're good to go. That's it. So you just rip it off, you tear it off like you're putting on a condom. But before you do, just swipe one of these on. And you could go get these by going to GetRoman.com/walk. And you can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/walk. Go get your swipes, people. It's only going to help you. You got nothing to lose. GetRoman.com/walk. go get the swipes. All right, let's hop back into the episode. So explain it really quick, because I think people would be like, what are you talking about?
Okay, so
lab grown, that sounds like the impossible wild
no, it's fake. Why would you want a fake diamond?
Exactly.
Why would you want a fake diamond? So a lab grown diamond basically came about 60, 70 years ago. They were able to recreate the growth of a diamond. And so if you can take a seed and plant it on a hill in a field and water and rain hits it, a flower grows. If you take that same seed and put it into a greenhouse and man waters it and man lights it, is it a flower? So kind of with the diamond, same general premises on that. One of the things with a lab grown, you could go down the way of saying it's green, you're not killing people, conflict diamonds, things of that nature. But I also add is, like I said, for my sons, if they were getting engaged, I would highly recommend going that way. If I had a daughter, I appreciate you, Eddie, but I prefer a natural diamond on my daughter's finger.
Yeah.
And basically what is the American market has really pushed the diamond to be the woman's best friend and things of that nature. But like I said, we're doing really good. What do you think, Rick?
And if looking at the diamond brokers, they used to be 100% natural diamond. I would say right now, it was interesting when the lab started growing, a lot of brokers said, oh, it's never going to survive. It's not going to be around. And the guys got $1 million, then $2 million, $3 million invested. And all of a sudden, then 4 brokers got it, 5 brokers. Now almost every broker in the city of Chicago carries lab-created diamonds. You know, and then you say, well, is it here to stay? You know, De Beers is going to squash it and they'll make it go bye-bye. All these brokers would not be handling lab-created diamond if it was going to go bye-bye. If they're going to drop the price, you know, it's kind of like people say with, you know, they're going to build more and more machines, so they're going to make more and more diamonds. It's going to get the cost down. Well, hey, we could do more oil refineries and get the gasoline to come down, but how come we only got 5 or 6 in the United States?
Yeah.
You know, so again, somebody controls the market, and there's a market there that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Now, did they deteriorate faster?
No,
It's a diamond.
It's exactly like a diamond. Weighs a diamond, cuts like a diamond.
So then why would you say if I was giving it to your daughter, why would it matter?
Old school.
Because it would be my daughter.
So
that's why it would be my daughter. I appreciate it, but no, it's my daughter.
It's a status. Okay. Okay.
But
understand.
what's interesting though, going forward, is if you have a girl who gets a 1 carat diamond for $4,000 cost, you get a 1.5 carat, maybe a little bit bigger in a lab grown. When these 2 girls go to a party and they each show their new engagement ring, my question is, are they going to say, well, mine's natural and yours only a lab?
No.
You know?
Yeah.
Are we in ABC studios here, or are we in a little room in the back office? Nobody really knows, right?
Yeah, nobody knows.
This
You're
is
right.
This is a
big
great look
time.
at the wall. Wow.
You see the movers blanket. You might tip some people.
No,
off.
is that the Chicago River?
Exactly. Exactly. Man, because like I said, we've done a show before. We do like certain days of the week, we do like a little conspiracy thing or like history thing. And that's when we learned that is the diamond market is very monopolized. Or at least it was.
Well, and what's happening now a little bit is that the supply of natural diamonds is slowing down, thus creating a shortage of natural diamonds. So the natural diamond pricing is still pretty strong out there. What we don't know, though, is in 10 years, is the production of lab-grown going to be so great and the price going to come down? Is that going to cause a conflict of, are you going to get a $1,000 diamond that used to be $5,000 or a natural diamond is $10,000? We don't know that, but at the end of the day.
But my theory is, if more and more brokers are carrying it, investing more and more money, why are they going to let that market go away?
Yeah.
I think
there's too much money out there.
The key is going to be what the conglomerate diamond, the De Beers of the world, how they're going to handle it going forward, whether they're going to jump into the market or try to block the market and lower prices and things of that.
So let's go there, De Beers. Do you guys, as jewelers, as local jewelers, do you guys like De Beers?
De Beers is like saying Chevy, Ford, GMC, and Tesla.
Yeah.
They want to destroy Tesla because as Tesla gets bigger, their market's dwindling. And that's pretty much what De Beers does. And they're one of the few huge companies out there that control so much.
Well, they're the ones, and we talked about this in the show, after the Depression, they were the ones that kind of got the slogans and kind of made this business a business, correct?
Yes.
Correct, 100%.
And they got all the control.
So
Big
is
brother.
that so? This genetically modified one has kind of helped you guys, I would assume,
it's
right?
It's a lab diamond.
Why is that?
It's the same.
It's the same.
It just, man is able to speed up the process of making it.
And De Beers does have interest in.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
okay, so they're not completely shut out.
No, I believe they're almost 50% of the.
Okay, so if they want to pivot completely tomorrow, they could do it.
And again, why? Because there's enough market out there, they could have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
You know, just like GMC, they're all starting up electric cars now and everything like that to compete with Tesla because they know that's where the market's going. So you got the people that still want the natural because they think that's the way to go, and you got the other people that think, what's wrong with the lab crate? If it's a diamond too, you got them coming and going again.
Yeah. Man, and then, so is it one of those things where De Beers how close hand to hand are you working with the De Beers guy?
We do not. And De Beers is like we're like a little pebble. Not even a pebble. We're a little crumb compared to De Beers. I mean, you're talking totally opposite spectrums.
And do they run like big
but they handle the world diamond supply. Okay, so we're not, you're talking the world diamond supply. They are the top of it, of that food chain. So,
okay, yeah, because I just reading about that and seeing how they shaped the market. It was pretty fascinating if you look at all the history of it. And for you being on the retail side, is it? It's kind of an advantage that you have to deal with less people because your margins are so much higher. Right?
Well, the beauty for us being a family business. The customers that come in, we've been in retail for 45 years, the referral business and the word of mouth, and just a trust factor. I mean, that is the biggest key in any business that you have, especially in the jewelry business, is I would have to say probably 9 out of 10 people who we see are going to buy from us because it's a word of mouth. You're going to get service and quality and
trust.
Right. So that's the beauty of our business.
So you very much rely on being someone's guy. Like, hey, I got a jeweler guy.
I got a guy who's got a guy.
Yes, exactly.
Eddie, you got a guy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the big thing. You don't just walk into those places in the
and you come across.
Plaza.
You're right. You come across some people who don't want to be the person who's told by the guy. They want to be the guy who's got a guy. And so have at it.
That's where COVID's coming a little bit because people don't shop as much as they used to. So that word trust and, hey, I got a guy, they don't go out to 2-3 guys. They go who their buddies have gone to or cousin or family goes to, and they go there because they're pretty much done. And I think COVID did something too. Is it seems like engagement ring sales have been kind of booming since COVID started. I don't know, because people are in the house together more and more, and couples are together, and it's like, well, if we're going to be together like this for the next couple of years, we might as well get married. But the engagement ring sale is
one
kind of
thing
boomed.
that I take pride in is in my approach of selling people is I love to tell them that the good news is I'm going to educate you. The bad news is I'm going to educate you. So the better I educate you, unfortunately, the more it's going to cost you, because the more you're going to realize and see and understand why things cost more. And my goal and our goal as, brothers in the jewelry business is when you walk out of our store, we want you to understand why you spent what you spent on what you got, whether it be lab, whether it be natural, whether you spend $3,000 or you spend $15,000. We want to educate you of, why you're buying what you're buying.
All right, that's great. So let's try to educate then. So if someone walks in, what's usually the first question they ask you?
For me personally, the first question I want to ask them is the last question I ask them. Eddie, are you married?
No, I'm not.
If you're coming in the store to buy an engagement ring, the first question we want to ask you is how much you want to spend, basically, so we know where you're going. What shape, things of that nature. So what we do is we try to go backwards into it. What shape, what size, what type of mounting, whatever. Here's a 1 carat size diamond. That's going to cost you roughly about 3 to 5. Here's a carat and a half. Here's 6 to 8. Here's a carat. To the point of, okay, now I'll ask you my final question. Kind of where do you want? Well, I want roughly around a carat and a half. Well, that means you're looking between $6,000 and $10,000, whatever. So, because we need to know what you're interested in, because we don't want to show you a $5,000 when you want to spend a $3,000. Or 3,000 when the opposite. So So, we'll work within your means, and then that's where our education of the diamond itself, the 4 C's of color, clarity, carat, and cut, comes into it. So,
yeah, that was the 4 C's: color, clarity, color,
and cut.
All right, I said that twice.
Color, clarity, carat weight, and cut.
Okay.
But and that's where we start getting more into technical. For us, I think the more important thing about any diamond, I would say, is color. Right, Rick?
Yeah. And can I go back to the lab created? When they create a rock, it's exactly like a diamond is created in the ground. It comes out D color, E color, Si1, Si2. It comes out exactly the same way. So they get graded the same way. The big grading company out there is GIA. GIA just started grading labs. They said labs aren't real diamonds. We're not going to grade them. Well, they realized they're losing so much money. All of a sudden, GIA now is grading lab diamonds. So again, when everybody says it's going to go away or it's going to shrink, everybody's getting on board onto it. So for it to go away, it's not going to go away.
Were you guys slow to get on board?
I would say so, because we didn't understand. It was new, and once you understood what it was, we give it the option to the customer. Though what I also do is, some people don't know about lab grown, and they'll come in and say, no, I don't want a lab grown. But what's interesting is, it's not that you're trying to get something cheaper or less. Guys who come in the store and want to spend $10,000 for a diamond engagement ring, whether it be natural or lab, bring your girlfriend in, bring your fiance in, put the money on the counter and say, do you want a 1.25 carat natural diamond, or you want a 2.5 carat lab? I'm spending $10,000. I want you to be happy, because that's one thing that is 100% true. Happy wife, happy life. So so it's not that you're trying to cut corners or do something cheaper. It's something that it's an option to, which way you want to go.
Do you buy a brand new car? Do you buy a used car with 2 years old? Do you buy a used car 4 years old? I mean,
what's better, a used Cadillac or a brand new Chevy?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't look at jewelry that way.
Right. And not that a lab is a used product by any mean, but it's just an alternative. Another thing that I say as a comparison is that if you've got a Gucci purse or a Louis Vuitton purse, if you're able to get the same material and same quality of leather, and you're able to have it made at another shop, is it Louis Vuitton or not? Just because Louis Vuitton makes it in their own factory, does that make it different than if we took that same material and made it in another factory? Kind of, sort of. Because we try to use analogy with it. Just a way to give our customers another option in picking out.
What turned me on to the labs is I was kind of against it, because I said, it's not real. Kind of old school. You want real. Nowadays everything's coming out and duplicating things. It's not real. I want real. And kind of like Dave said, if my daughter, I'd want real. And then I had one guy bring one in that he wanted to sell, that he bought someplace else. And I took it out of the mounting, and I took it to the 2 brokers and said, customer wants to trade this in. What's it worth? The 2 brokers looked at it and were going to give me $2,000 more than the guy paid for it, because they didn't realize it was a lab-created diamond. And that's when I go, wait a minute. If nobody could tell, why are we spending all this money? And kind of like Dave said, you start going to the guy and said, where do you want to spend the money? What do you actually want to have? I don't think there's too many guys that said, I'll spend more money for a girl. Hey, if I could save a couple $1,000, $5,000, and still impress her, oh my God, maybe this is the right way to go. Because there's so many things nowadays that you need. You can't eat a diamond, you can't fly in a diamond, you can't live in a diamond, but you're going to spend how much money? And I still love the guy that comes in and says, my girlfriend said I got to spend 2 months of my earning on a diamond. And I smile and go, what do you do for a living?
What's the truth on that?
I would say what's happening now is 10, 15 years ago, the age of people getting engaged was younger. Now more people are finishing school, moving downtown for 2-3 years, where 10, 15 years ago, between the ages of maybe 22 and 25, now it's 28 to 30. So they're definitely waiting. And because they're waiting and they're more established in their career, the amount of money that they're paying for engagement rings is higher. But whether that's based on their income or not, I don't know that. But also depends on the girl's family, who you're looking to impress, type of a thing. But that's where the curveball comes in with the lab grown. is you can get a much bigger, better looking stone for less money on the lab growns.
And you mentioned color. What's the most popular color?
Color of a diamond, the highest color that you could get is a D color. D as in David. Ideally like to stay H or better. If you start getting into the I lettering and going up, the coloring, you're going to start seeing some yellow in the diamond. But again, I would say on average, probably G. If you get better, that's great. It's going to cost more.
What do the letters mean for someone like me? I know blue.
D is 1.
Okay.
E is 2. Kind of like it goes down.
Yeah.
Everything they kind of did in our business is to confuse the consumer more.
Yeah, because what D, like that's like
D
a
is the
lighter
best color.
shade, a darker shade. What do you mean?
D is colorless.
White. But then again,
Why did they do this?
to make you more confused and trust us more so.
So it just we use.
That's why jewelers get a bad rap sometimes.
So
'cause it's,
when we weigh gold, we still go by penny weights, which kind of Americanized. European wise, when Italy was supplying a lot, it's in grams. Basically, why grams and why not penny weights and vice versa? And this is just a scale. Let's create a scale. And that scale starts with D is basically number 1, the highest.
goes down to
And then
alphabet. Then.
E and so forth. Clarity of the stone's even more confusing because you have the lowest is I, imperfect, SI, slightly imperfect, VS, very slight, VVS, very, very slight, and internally flawless and flawless. So what did I just say?
That's what I was about to say. Like what I've learned is that
That is why you need to go to somebody who you trust.
Yeah.
Wow. Because you could be twisted and turned around. When we show diamonds, we'll take diamonds out and compare them to other stones. Most jewelers won't do that because even you who knows very little about diamonds, you could see the difference in color. That's why I say that color is one of the most important things because even you who's never maybe seen a diamond side, but you can distinguish color. Clarity is a little bit more difficult. But again, with educating you and showing you what to look for in diamonds, that's how you distinguish the price of what you're getting. So,
Man, there's so many probably older jewelers who didn't adapt and go the lab route, huh? And they probably disintegrated because of that.
well, they
like I
work
said,
around.
The brokers didn't want to get into labs. They already have their inventory of all these diamonds. They have hundreds of millions of dollars tied up in all these natural diamonds. Now here comes lab. How much are we going to invest in this? Is it going to be here to stay? Is it going to go away? And most of them fought it. And I like the guys at the beginning that didn't have them say, oh, they're not going to stay. Well, you don't carry them. That's why they're not going to stay.
Yeah.
And the other guy goes, hey, I just got $2 million. Now I got $4 million invested. Now I got 6. And all of a sudden everybody realized, oh, my God, it's here to stay. If you look at Costco now, I believe Costco's starting to sell lab-created diamonds. So if it's going to go away, why is everybody growing with it? Like, get on board.
Wow. But most people walk in though, and it's by looks, right? I like that one. They don't really come in and be like, hey, I want a D, I want SI. They don't, right?
Well,
True,
usually not.
But that's where we try to educate you because everybody has a little different interpretation of what is G. And like David just said, is we try to put a couple G's together and you go, how come this one's whiter and this one looks darker? Because no two diamonds look alike, and you still got to compare to see which one is better. And sometimes it's not necessarily means it's more expensive, it means the broker you got it from gave you a better deal. So we go to brokers to buy most of our diamonds. But it's like going to 3 different grocery stores. You can get the same gallon of milk at all 3, but pay 3 different prices. So, again, we work harder for our customers that way. And some other jewelers, like the bigger chain companies, here it is, take it or leave it.
We do have customers who will come in, educate it, and say, I want a E-color diamond, I want an SI1 clarity diamond, and I want a GI certified diamond. And I'll look at a diamond paper of a diamond and say, here's your stone, and say, well, can I see it? I'm like, what do you need to see it for? You've done your homework. You've educated yourself. You know that you want the specifics of a diamond. Yeah, but I need to see it. It's like, what? Oh, okay, hold on for a second. I'll take 3 diamonds, put them into a diamond paper, and roll them out on a sheet of paper, and they're like, what did you just do? I go, which one is it? It's like, how am I going to know if I don't have the paper to match up to it. So it's like, it's not just the paper, and we refer to as the certification. There's different certifications. GI is the best. There's EGL and IGI. It's a roadmap to get to your destination or your decision. So, again, everything just kind of falls back into the trust of who you're dealing with, regardless of whether it's jewelry or any other product out there for the most part.
And then what you just said is, how do you know which one to pick out? It's like going by a used car and you see 3 black Corvettes sitting there that are all 2 years old. You could look at the 3 cars and go, this one looks way better than the other 2. This one's taken care of better. And kind of diamonds are the same way. You could see 3 grades of the same diamond, same size, but one's going to stick out to you and go, I like that one.
Go to ABT. You want a refrigerator? Which refrigerator do I buy? You got Whirlpool, Amana, Samsung, this, that. You know, and give me somebody who I could trust that will tell you why.
Yeah, because that's the element. There is a lot of, if you wanted to be a shady mechanic, you could be that if you wanted to.
And that's why we've been in business for 45 years.
How prevalent is that? Sorry.
No, I mean, what's interesting about that is we never felt successful. We just did what we did. You know, our life has been this. You know, it's been our entire life. And then you talk to some people and you say, you know what? You got a small family business. You've been in business for 45 years. You know how much that is accomplished? And I never look at that. You know, it's just it's what we do.
What I think, too, it tells us who we are. Is I remember back when we were in our early 20s, we were looking at going into Harlem Irving Mall at one time. And we had a little store going, and Dad said, okay, you guys want to start going big time? We could start getting like all the big chain stores, you know, open a store in this mall and that mall. And I'm like, hey, look at all the money we're going to make. Oh, man, yeah, this is easy. And then all of a sudden Dad goes, okay, 7 days a week, you got to work here 12 hours a day. And it's like, no, I don't want to work that hard. And he goes, well, somebody's got to do it. And then we kind of made the decision is let's just stay small mom and pop, can make decent money, you know, have a few toys and enjoy life, travel, but yet we still could have a family life. And that's kind of what most of our customers become family. Kind of like a dentist or a doctor used to put the pictures of the kids when they come to the doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, we got people we sold engagement rings to 40 years ago. Now we're starting to sell to their kids again. And it's like Dave was just saying, it's kind of cool is how many people could say that they've been in business for 40-some years and still deal with the same customers over and over again.
Eddie, we need you to come to the store. We need to get your picture on the wall.
Yeah, there we go. Someday, maybe.
And then next picture will be 6 kids, a wife.
Yeah, someday, maybe. But yeah, that's what. But is the shady people? Is that like that guy on that corner, like he's is that pretty big part of the game too?
Just be careful.
Yeah.
Judgment of character. You know, that's always a risk within the business, but there's risks in a lot of businesses too. So
I think too in the jewelry business, most people are so afraid because they don't have a clue what they're doing. But I think if you sat with us for half hour, 45 minutes, you'll understand simple terms. Is it whiter or yellower? Do you see 1 spot or 10 spots? And then all of a sudden you go, hey, this ain't so hard to do. And I usually go to the guy and said, "Do you ever buy a 2x4?" And they go, "Yeah, why?" I go, "You walk in there, and well, it used to be cheaper, but a 2x4 is $3." And you're like, "Okay, is that the best?"
$6 now.
Then you go to the next one, it's $1.250, and the next one's $1.50, and then there's a pile. What's the difference? No knots, a lot more knots, straight board, curvy board. Oh, I got it. Well, let us sit down for a half hour, show you the difference in colors, and you go, "Okay, wait. So that's white and that's yellow. That's 1 spot. That's this ain't so hard." And like David said, the more we educate you, the scarier it becomes because now that little spot that was a speck becomes a Mack truck, and now you want that Mack truck to go away. Now that's going to cost you more money. Yeah. Or you realize they all look alike, but now we say this was whiter, and go, hey, I see it. I ain't want whiter. It's going to cost you more money now. Yeah. So now you got to find your happy medium with all that, and that's what we try to do.
Wow.
And
most of the people, do you enjoy when they come in with their wives or their girlfriends?
Yeah, I mean, I had about a month and a half ago, I had a referral, 2 guys and 2 lady friends. And again, they were, all friends and looking at natural and lab. And the 2 women that were in their late 20s, early 30s, both said, go lab, bigger, she'll like it. And the guy and his buddy are like, no, I'm going to go natural. And so it's just interesting. And that's the one fun thing about our business is, enjoying the people and the coming in. I mean, it's kind of an old cliche, but You know, if
We
work is
got
fun to
Cheers
go
going
to,
by us. It's like a big bar.
if work is fun to go to,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really work. So,
All right, hey, let's take a quick break here and let's talk about our friends at Roman. Most guys have tried different ways to last longer in bed. You guys know the drill by now. Thinking about baseball, saying the Pledge of Allegiance in your head, counting backwards from 10, thinking of old, mid-2003 Cubs. That's not going to help. You're not going to be thinking about Randall Simon or Mike Remlinger, just random names to help you last. This is not going to work, people. So start getting on these Roman swipes because they're clinically proven as a way to help you last longer in bed. They're effective, easy to use, and fast acting, but they don't require a prescription. Roman can ship swipes to you in discreet, unmarked packaging, and each swipe packet is small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you need it. They're super easy to use. Just take the swipe out of the packet, swipe it on, let it dry. You're good to go. That's it. To get your hands on these, all you got to do is go to GetRoman.com/walk. You can get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That's GetRoman.com/walk. Go check it out. Roman, support the show, support Roman. And everyone could use some help in this department. So once again, that's GetRoman.com/walk. Go get your swipes. All right, let's hop back into the episode. But what about how many guys come in? They just get bullied around the store by the girlfriend. Do you guys get a kick out of that?
they don't last very long.
Or we put odds on when we're going to buy that diamond back.
Well, and then so how much of it is buying it back?
Very, very little.
Almost hardly
Yeah.
ever. In 40-some years, definitely maybe count one hand.
Right.
And again, it's we're kind of the family mom and pop store, so we kind of know everybody, and most of our customers are all good people, and they want to last.
Are you obligated to tell someone if it was a used ring? Like if it was?
You would want. I mean, you'd
Yes.
want to. But I'll tell you, here's a problem though: is a natural diamond. How old is a natural diamond?
Doesn't wear out.
Where's that natural diamond come from?
Yeah.
Back when the movie Blood Diamond came out, whatever, and Conflict and things of that nature, people would come in and say, "Is this a Conflict diamond?" And I look at the diamond, I go, "I have no clue." Let me ask my diamond broker. Diamond broker, is this a Conflict diamond? Yes, Dave, it's a Conflict diamond. I don't know if it's a Conflict diamond or not. But
So that's above you guys.
Totally. And so we've had
Can't tell.
situations where
Is your plastic water bottle brand new plastic or is it recycled plastic?
I love these examples. all these examples.
Right.
Just, make-
And that's where I go. Well, what we teach the guys is, hey, relax, chill out here. It's just common sense.
So
White is white, yellow is yellow.
I've got this diamond that I took back in the trade-in, or I bought whatever. I got a really good deal on it, or this lady was divorced. I bought it from a divorced lady. I don't want somebody else's used diamond. Okay.
yeah.
So
Funny story is, I've had a couple guys in 40 years where they were married, wound up keeping the diamond, getting remarried again. The guy goes, I don't want to buy another diamond. What do I do with their old diamond? I said, well, here's what we're going to do. You got $1 in your pocket? He goes, yeah. I go, okay, give me $1. You sell me the diamond back. I'm going to sell you this one back. It's a different diamond,
wink, wink.
So we got the karma off of it. But nobody knows if that diamond was created a year ago or 30, 40 years ago, because a diamond does not wear out. If you look at certs, so what the jewelers would do or the brokers would do, they would update the cert to look like it was refurbished and it was mined in 2020, because that's what the paperwork says. But you don't know what the old paperwork says because there's no way of tracking a diamond really. And they start tattooing the side of the diamond basically with numbers to keep track of them. $30, $40, they'll erase it for you. I didn't say that. And that's what the diamond brokers say, because on the labs, they can't tell.
Yeah, they don't know.
There's machines out there, and I'm sure they're improving, where you can test to know if it's lab or natural, and that will probably come with technology.
But they will say labs have been around for a good 5-7 years. Have you seen a machine yet? I haven't seen a machine, but I've heard these are machines, but nobody seems to have one that's 100% accurate out there.
Wow. And then do you guys buy a bunch of inventory first, or is it when someone orders one? How does that work?
For engagement ring is pretty much 100% by what your request is,
By
because
order,
we do not hold inventory. We don't have inventory of diamonds just sitting around.
And most stores don't do it anymore because the market, where's it going? I mean, COVID comes around for another 2 years. Nobody's selling anything. You got $10 million in inventory. You're not making any money.
Yeah.
So I think inventory has shrunk in a lot of stores too.
Do many people walk in thinking it's a pawn shop of sorts and try to sell you shit?
They do, and that's something with lab grown is, we've bought a little bit of diamonds over the counter over the years, and now we don't even touch it anymore just for that reason.
Yeah.
Gold buying is totally different. We could test it and whatnot, but from a diamond perspective, whatever.
And what most of the brokers do now too, if they buy as if it was a lab. So if your real diamond was $5,000 and a lab is $2,500, $3,000, they're going to give you the lab market value, not a natural, because nobody wants to take the gamble in a way.
Yeah.
Now you don't tell the customer that, because then they're kind of shy away from that. And again, that's where that's the trust and the truth. But most of the time, we basically just tell them, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it to a broker. Whatever the brokers are going to give, we'll go to 3 brokers. We'll give you the best offer, kind of like trading in a car.
Yeah.
And that's the best we could do. If you want me to buy it, we're going to probably buy it below a broker because we're putting it in inventory, and we say I'd rather not do that. I'd rather give you as much money and give the customer the option to figure out where he wants to go.
Is it hard for you guys to watch heist movies? You root for the owners?
For what?
Like heist movies, people are robbing a store. You have sympathy for the people getting hit up.
I love how in the movies they got all the big diamonds and everything in one area, and it just takes one little bag, and they walk out with the $10 million. Who has that anymore?
Yeah.
It's like you got to go to Tiffany's and almost clean them out to get all that, and it's really not going to happen.
Yeah. Is being robbed a primary concern?
Oh, it definitely is. I mean, it's always out there. Yeah. But again, it just kind of comes with the territory a little bit as far as within the business. We're insured, and we have all the security systems in place, alarms and cameras and
double doors,
24-hour security, video recording, and killer dogs and a few weapons. So
you guys are ready to go.
Right,
ready to go. Man, this was very informative, guys. Thank you for hopping on.
Yep.
Is there anything we didn't get to? Any kind of stories, anything like that?
I got a million stories. 40 years.
Eddie, are you dating anybody? Anybody we need to talk about at all? Or
no one right now.
Let's turn the mics on Eddie now. Okay, I've got a list of questions for you.
I don't have a price. I have nothing I'm looking at. I'm not in the market right now. That's my.
Hey, I do have one question for you.
Yeah.
Louis Bezoin. Riggs, the golf guy.
Oh, yeah.
My son and him played hockey together as youth guys long time ago. So, but I hear he's doing very well with
he's doing
Barstool, right?
Yeah. Smashing
it. So yeah.
It's small world.
Yes.
Small world. Yeah, he's killing it with the golf side. But yeah, no, thanks guys, and just go to So Many Trust. That's the moral of today's
and
story.
Regardless of what type of product you're shopping for, whether it be a car or jewelry or whatever. So
I would just tell people to go to mom and pa. You're better off. The chain stores have so much built into their pricing, and again, how could they pay the mall price? How could they pay all these employees' prices and still make money? And mom and pa's are still scraping every nickel together, so that somebody's making a lot of money and somebody's making little money on you.
Yeah.
Go to the mom and pa, you'll be much better off.
And we're blessed to the the mail order business, whatever, Amazon and all that is hurting a lot of us small businesses, whatever. But jewelry is one of the types of businesses that it's a little bit harder just to order online, diamond or something like that.
I remember people said that Amazon and all that's going to hurt the jewelry business. I don't think it has, because I think it scared people more so that you got to go check. Because like Dave was telling you a story before, here's a G color stone, but there's 3 of them. Which one is really the G color? You're going to trust somebody on the internet telling you this is the truth, trust me?
Yeah.
And send me a check for $10,000. And oh, by the way, if you don't like it, you could send it back, and now I get the diamond back. I still have your $10,000. You better hope he sends you a check now. So people are more leery with jewelry than they are, buying a garbage can or a can opener, or coffee pots.
Purchase.
Another thing that we say too is that your loyalty to a certain point is to your pocketbook. if you're looking at two stones, one by us and one someplace else, and you think they're pretty similar, and there's a $1,200 cost difference, you know what? I'd lean towards your pocketbook.
Yeah.
But you gotta realize who you're dealing with too, and is it an apple to an apple or is it an apple to an orange? So some of the responsibility falls on the other side too. So.
Oh, I think you guys said you guys both got 3 boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like, man? Now you are always looking for these deals now when they're trying to get married. How does that work?
Yeah, it's just don't tell us a week before. Hey, Dad, we want to get engaged. What do you got laying around?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but it's also competition amongst the boys. Well, okay, I lied. Size does matter when it comes to the Kohler family and at Norridge Jewelers.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, Rick, Dave, where's the store at so people can go check it out if they want
Cumberland in Lawrence in Norridge. It's been there for over 40 years, across the street from Produce World, next to the Norridge Ace Hardware Store.
Address?
8338 West Lawrence Avenue, Norridge. Would love to hear some feedback from this podcast as far as...
There we go. Yeah, hopefully we get some people in there.
Lab or not lab?
Yeah, I might just waltz into one now.
You should do that just for shits and giggles. So you should go check it out someday. David could come to the store and David would just show you the difference too. So, because like I said, go buy a 2x4, and if you've never done it and you walk in there, what are all these 2x4? I mean, what's the difference? What's a D diamond? What's a E diamond? Like you just asked, and you go there and you come back and go, you know what? Half hour, I got a better education. I kind of know what I'm doing. I don't know exact, but it's a lot easier, That way, when you do get engaged, you'll know what you're doing. You'll be a pro at it.
Yeah.
Maybe you bring your buddy Mikey in for an engagement ring.
Yeah. Maybe he's the one to facilitate this. There we go. All right, Rick, Dave, Norridge Jewelers. Thanks, guys. That's it for today, everybody. We'll catch you next time.